God wanted us to have a way that we could connect to Him, that it should come from us. The future really has to come from us. After all, it's a quantum world, so our thoughts expand. Hi, Ellie Weber. Welcome back to our channel, my dear family and friends, brothers and sisters, starseeds, all regular folks, one humanity. We got this. I'm going to be talking about the moons today, about full moon and the new moon, and the difference and the importance of this. I'm also going to be talking about the Tabernacle in the desert. We're going into that in the Torah now, so that's a very important topic. I'm going to be tying this in with the politics of the day. Please like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so I can send you other videos, smash the like button, and let you know when the live meetings are taking place. Check out all the things in the show more. We got some cool health products. We have some great videos. Check out our Patreon channel. We're doing a lot of uncensored videos on Patreon. It's going to be a whole new world. We won't have to worry about Big Brother too much moving forward, I don't think. And let's rock. The jetties are almost underwater. They're being inundated by the waves. They're being covered by the waves. What does it mean? It means that we are at the beginning of a new month, the month of Adar, the month of Purim. And during the new moon, the tide is at the highest. So this is a very interesting phenomenon that people should be aware of. I'm a fisherman, so I know about these things. When the moon is full and when the moon is new, at these two times, the tide is the highest and the lowest. And so too in the information streams. Either the information is pouring out or there's very little at all. Kind of like in a relationship. Like sometimes you meet somebody and you're all about them, and then sometimes you have to back up and the silence is kind of deafening. You understand the silence. You understand what you're not hearing. And that's the same thing with the moon, and it's the same thing with spirituality, and it's the same thing with the storm. We are in the storm. There's a storm. There's a flood of information coming out. It's coming out in bits and rivets and streams, in floods. I mean, all about the little ones, all about the island in the Caribbean, all about the selection process, all about a lot of different things, the medical practice, the corporations, their involvement with the intelligence operations. All these things are kind of being dripped out, but it's not really a drip anymore. It's coming more and more into a flood. And so too with the moons, like a fisherman knows that when it's a new moon, when there's no moon at all, when there's no information coming out, and when there's a ton of information coming out, those are the times when you catch the big fish. So the big ideas are coming out, whether we're hearing it directly or we're figuring out with our intuition. So this goes to another aspect of this video that I want to talk about. We're in Parshas Truma. In other words, the Jewish people read a different portion, a different section of Torah each week. And this week we're reading Parshas Truma. What does Truma mean? It really means like giving donations, like donations to the temple. But it's also involved, it really etches out, it really plans, it gives the architectural details. It does all the planning for the tabernacle. God lays out all the details of the tabernacle. In other words, the tabernacle is a way for us to connect to godliness. Because we did, let's say, the sin of the golden calf, God wanted us to have a way that we could connect to Him, that it should come from us. And that's really key to this whole thing, is that the future really has to come from us. After all, it's a quantum world, so our thoughts expand. So this is a time while the tide is very high. Like I said, you could see it's overwhelming the jetties when the lighting is, I know it's going back and forth, but you can see that the tide is overwhelming. It's pouring out over the jetties because it's so high. This is a new moon. The moon is not visible now, and yet its power is at full strength, just like a full moon. We're going between two extremes. We're going between this flood of information and no information. But at the end of the day, it's really up to us to interpret, to intuit, to connect, to really connect with Source and go beyond yourself, go beyond what you're used to. We're used to being told everything. Okay, this is what's going on in the world. This is this. They want us to focus on one story at a time. We're not smart enough to think that there could be two things happening in this huge world. There could be two things happening at the same time. But they always want to capture our attention. They want to think, okay, environmental disasters, the balloons, you focus on this, look over here, not over there. Meanwhile, they're stealing from us, they're stealing our money, they're, you have banks and all this stuff. But I would say, this is a time of like a new moon. It's a new creation. We're coming into a new world, a completely different world. And don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Start to plan, start to vibrate, start to notice, where are you spending? What are you thinking about when you're not focused on something specific? What do you think about? And do you want to change that? Is that really what you want to think about? Do you want to think about how scary it is that all these trains are wrecking? Do you want to think about how scary it is that the financial system is coming to an end? The three-letter agencies, that the corporations that work with them, that the governments, that's all in cahoots, that these guys are going down? I mean, you could spend a lot of time thinking about that. But on the other hand, you could be like a new moon. You could use your power, the power of no light, the power of creation in the darkness, of being fruitful and multiplying, of bringing ideas, creations into the light, of planning to build a tabernacle, planning to build a dwelling place for God in this world. It means focus on your intentions. Focus on what you're about. Focus on your godly purpose. Connect with your godly purpose. Connect with your true creativity. Connect with what really makes you happy, what really floats your boat, man. I mean, we've been pretending for years. I got to do this job. I have to show up. I don't really like it. I don't like my boss. I don't like the people. I don't like what I do. It doesn't make any sense, but I do it anyway because I need a check. That time is soon going to be completely over. We're not going to do work that has no meaning. We're going to be vibrating with the frequency of love. We're going to be in a God-centered reality, a quantum reality, where we will understand who we are and what we're about. We'll be leaving the fear space, leaving the space of, of hard intellect and anger, and, reacting to everything. It's going to be not about reacting. It's going to be about creating, and creating things that really make sense to you, things that are godly, things that are wonderful, things that make you happy, that bring a smile to your face and those around you. I mean, if you're vibrating, if you're doing what you were sent here to do, you're going to be happy all day long. Trust me, man. I mean, I'm living the life right now. I get to do exactly what I want. Now, how did I get to this space? I got it because I said no to them. I kept saying no. They said, if you don't get this, we're taking away your job. I said, I'm not doing it. They said, well, you'll never work again. I said, okay, fine. In other words, it's not always a logical progression, and it's not easy. That's for sure. It's not easy. I did not expect to end up in this situation looking over the ocean, but I understand that God understands my pathway as well. And when I was younger, I had a horrific car accident. And after the accident, it took me a couple of years to reacclimate myself, to reinvent myself, really. So I spent that time fishing by the water. So God knows that as I'm in my creative, my creative purpose, when the moon is hidden, but the tide is full, that's when I need to be near the water. So God figured out a way to get me over here. I had ideas. I remember on Shabbos thinking, I've got to get near the water. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And it just, little by little, I'd look at places. They would say, no, we can't get you. We don't like your credit. You're a nice guy, but this is just not going to work out. And then finally I found it. I mean, and that's the way the universe works. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Plan the tabernacle right now. Think about it. What do you want? Where do you want to live? Who do you want to live with? What does your house look like? I mean, remember, all these structures are going to be gone soon. The whole earth is going to be changed. There's a reorganization, a transformation of all elements of society, the way we live, the way we're educated, the medicine, the medical community, the banking community. We'll be in a quantum financial system But it's not just the quantum financial system. We'll have quantum computing. We will be connected. We will be completely free to liberate ourselves and to spend our time doing what we really love to do. So don't wait. Start now. Make little places. It all starts like in Truma, in this Parsha this week. It starts in the planning. Start thinking about it and the more time you spend thinking about it, the sooner it will come. Just think about it in a good way, and don't be afraid, like the moon, to let go. That's when the creation also takes place, in the darkness. The moon is, the tide is at full strength, but there's no light. So either way, we vacillate between these two extremes, between dark and light, but they're both full of godliness. In fact, there's some people say that the dark has more light in the light. Now, I'm not going to even try to explain that. Come to our live meetings. We can get a little more granular about some of the things that are going on in the world. I'm finding in terms of our group meetings, we're reaching a point where people are getting a little tired of trying to figure out the intel. Like, what day is it going to happen? It's losing its meaning, because we're coming into understanding that the true purpose of this time period, of a time when the moon is dark and yet the tide is strong, is in being fruitful and multiplying, in creating a new you, in shedding the ego structures that they put on you, your defense structures, your fear structures, your anger structures. I can't do this. I'm no good at that. All that stuff's going to be gone, and there's going to be a level playing field, whether it's dark or light, whether your pathway is, whether it's obvious to you or difficult to find. The tide is full. That's when all the fish are out, man. That's the best time to fish, when the tide's really moving. And this is a transformative period. Try to really capture it. Try to really use your time productively. Focus on your thoughts. If you're feeling things that are negative, try to distract yourself. Try to move into a positive framework. Try to figure out how you can use the negative to springboard into positivity. That's why I like my job, man. I hated my job. When they told me, you'll never work for us again, I was like, really? Should I cry or laugh? I mean, it's a progression, and God is with you every step of the way. You're not alone. You're not doing this in this kind of Nietzsche-esque, intellectual world where everything, is negative and pointed against you. It's all godly. It's all good. Even the things that are hard are even more good. So hang in there. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. It will soon be here. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so I can send you other videos. Smash the like button and let you know when the live meetings are happening, which is twice a day. Join our Patreon channel. I think we're going to be doing some amazing things there. Check out everything in the show more. Like I said, we have some great products. If you're having health issues, very good products. We have all kinds of channels down there and information. May the force be with you. May God bless and protect you. And let's get out there with a huge smile on our face. Be open to the exploration. Be open to the darkness of the new moon and the force of the high tide. So let's get out there and rock the world.